times where we've shown without John glimpses of being really good, but we don't have that same depth on the interior, and it's probably easier to mask offensively, but defensively and on the glass, it's hurt us. You know, I was asked a bunch in Lexington in the post-game press conference about the discrepancy, the huge rebounding swing from game 1 to game 2, and I guess in this program right now we've been all about moving on. We don't have John. It's not where we can't think about it. We can't dwell on it. I didn't even come to that conclusion after the game that a huge part of that discrepancy was Johnny Blue didn't play, and he got 7 in the first game, but probably negated Adebayo from getting a few himself. So it's a big factor. It's a big factor, and a couple guys got to step up. I mean, Skylar's going to be dependent upon to play at a higher level. Gorjak Gak's got to get healthy. Keith Snone's got to get back to giving us production as he was mid-season. And Keith and I have had a couple meetings in the last couple days, and in fact, he had his best practice yesterday in a while. So hopefully he can regain some of that confidence. And even though he's different, of course, we've got to be able to utilize Keith's girth defensively on the glass, and offensively he gives us something different.
But you can win in different ways. I wasn't saying the team can't be as good, but you're going to have to do it differently, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. We've got to be a little bit more creative offensively now, because at least temporarily one of our backup fives is a 4-3 combo forward. You know, so we were trying to do some things offensively at Rupp where Keith wasn't exactly in his comfort zone. He hadn't been put in that place before. Not as good, obviously, on the offensive glass without John. Whether he played 15 minutes or 25 minutes for you, he was as big a threat probably in our league on the offensive glass as anyone else. Now, for 40 minutes, you don't have John going and then Kavarius going and then John going and Kavarius getting fresh and then him going, and now it's we've got to complement Kavarius being a great offensive rebounder with a couple other guys at the 5. You know, Skylar's got to get some, and Keith's got to get some, and Gorjak again has got to get healthy. But yeah, we've got to move on. We can be, if all of these things happen, we can be just as good. We'd just be different.
On defense, of course, with a smaller team, I know wasn't as successful earlier in the year, but have you guys thought about going back to the press potential with the athletic guards that you do have?
No, we just hadn't given it much thought. Our half-court man-to-man has been really good to us. Our defensive numbers are still terrific. We had some really good defensive possessions at Rupp that were finished by Malik Monk jumping up and making a Malik Monk shot, and I don't think it's time to freak out. That we actually only made it probably 3 or 4 glaring mistakes. One led to a 3 in transition that really got Malik going. It was a lack of communication with 2 on the ball, just a tough mistake there, and then we had a couple of ill-advised fouls at the end of the first half. But other than that, defensively, we were good.
And then can you talk a little bit about what Devin Robinson does, even when he's not scoring, that he can do things on the boards and he can get blocks and he can assist in other ways?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Devin, he's very talented. He's really coming to his own this year. He's one of the most improved players in our league. He had a game sometime here in the not too distant past where didn't score. Was it Mississippi State? Had 10 rebounds, maybe. He's come a long way defensively. In fact, we're coming off a game when you scouted Kentucky. We in watching the first game over and over, Devin did a tremendous job on Isaiah Briscoe in the first matchup. So he's a much improved rebounder, defender, and that's what's allowed him to play more minutes this year. Really, where he falls into open jump shots, and he's really shooting well. Had a good practice yesterday.
What's your philosophy on communicating, or shall we say, working officials during the course of the game? Are you a guy that talks to them at all, or no, or were you that way?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I talk to them too much. Sometimes you get consumed with them. Sometimes, in retrospect, you wish maybe you would have said this or had seen that, and maybe argue about this or that. But I know as a young head coach, my first couple of years at Louisiana Tech, I was consumed with the officials and being disrespected and so on and so forth. As a young head coach, and I realized actually Mark Whitehead, who's now our head of officials, does a terrific job. He actually gave me some advice, put me under his arm at one point when he was doing one of our games, and just talked about how I'm actually taking away from the focus on my guys and how to get him better and what we should be looking at offensively and defensively. And he made some great points, and that's why he's great at what he does. But for the most part, that's what I try to do. If you're watching everything that the officials are doing, you're not watching the five guys that you're responsible for.
Did you ever get any clarification from the league office on the technical? I know you were looking for that or no?
Yeah, Kevin, I just got to be careful there. I don't want to dodge your question at all. I've had communication. I don't want to be fined in any way. I'm still buying diapers. I got my guys don't get me in the driveway and get more shots up. I'm going to be paying college tuitions as well. So, K-Vaughn unfortunately was called for a technical foul. You all saw it. I don't want to go any further than that. I'm sorry.
What's it like wrapping up your final season, or wrapping up the first season in this new facility?
It's a little sad, to be honest. I wish we had a few more in the Tech Arena. It's been a nice place to play and compete, and it's been a great environment. Again, we're really appreciative. The turnout's been awesome. Our marketing people have been awesome. The Rowdies have been great. It's been really fun, and they've made it a decided home court advantage, of course. And we hope that we can finish the right way for our seniors more than anyone else, but for our fans as well.
What's the response been from the guys to the first loss in a long time? How have they taken that and refocused?
I was really impressed with our guys yesterday. It doesn't always carry over, as you know, Ryan, to the next day's practice, and certainly not to the game. Not all the time. You wish it did, but yesterday I thought I'd have to get them juiced up and maybe challenge them a little bit. We challenged them a little bit in film. Hey, we lost, but these are some of the things we could have done better. And we went out and had a great practice. We went about an hour, and we were as sharp as we've been. So this team continues to do things that impress you from a work ethic and character standpoint. We were sharp yesterday.